Alright guys, and welcome down to this brand new way of doing things down here at Coastergen. We've not done this for a very long time. I say brand new, but we've done it before. Now it should be a lot more professional, a lot easier for you guys to understand. The streaming should be a lot better. And yeah, it should be it should be good. So basically, I'm just going to do some no limit streaming. I'm going to start from scratch because a lot of people have been asking us and the team how everything is going and how to use No Limits 2 and what it's about. So basically, you can buy it on Steam. I believe there's some good offers on it at the moment. Make sure you get the professional version if you buy it. There's no point in trying to limit yourself with, you know, obviously if you don't have the money, then don't get the professional version. But I would advise, if you get the standard version, I would rather save up and get the professional version, just because you get a lot more in depth, and you go in depth really quick with this software. It's not like you just sit about and just draw roller coasters all the time. You start putting 3D scenery in and you know, 3D objects and all that. So yeah, so hopefully the stream should be okay. I'm just doing a quick test now, just before this. So I'm just checking out what the stream is like. I'm not sure what it's like currently, but I think we seem to be doing okay. Well, apparently stream health is down. So just bear with us for 2 seconds while I check this out. So I hope everybody's having a really nice National Roller Coaster Day. If you've been on any rides today, let me know. Give us a shout. Sorry about the clicking. Roller Coaster Day. If you've been on any rides today, let me know. Okay, so it all sounds pretty decent. I've just checked the stream, so we'll start again now. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start from scratch, show you No Limits, how I use it. Obviously a lot of people, so basically this is what you get when you get into No Limits. You get this barren landscape. Not much. Also, if you modify the terrain at this height, you'll get instant water. So a little tip for you guys: if you don't want water present in your ride and you want to build underground, set the whole terrain height to about, I don't know, usually about, I don't know, 100 feet. 100 feet. Now what you'll see from this is, if for example I want to build a tunnel down, I've got 100 foot of land before I actually get to water. Can you see the difference there? It's just a little tip, it's a little trick that I do all the time. Just Control Alt Z in there, just for anybody to know. Okay, so I always start from top view, and we need a coaster. So first of all, we need a name. So we'll call it YouTube for now. The properties of the coaster. So this is where you choose. No, that's wrong. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, it is. I'm trying to do the basics and it's like, it's just normal. So I usually use the heartline. You can change from center rail to heartline. Heartline basically lifts it about 1 or 2 feet off the track, gives you a more realistic output of what you'll be using. And then the style, obviously, you know, you got from a 4D coaster to Zampel twisting coaster. So there's lots to choose from. They're always adding things as well. They've got infinity coasters. I think we'll go with an infinity coaster just for this. So I'm going to whack it down to three cars per train. I have 2 trains, but I'll have to sort that out after. And then your colours. They're your colours. That's where your scripts, you want to add any scripts later on, which is obviously getting in depth again. But we will go over that eventually at some point. Not today, but you can run the train backwards and you can remove the train from the track. So if you want to put your own custom trains on, the easiest way to do it is to assign your custom train, so your 3D object, to the track, excuse me, and then reduce the number of trains to 0, and obviously it won't run, the train won't run as well as the 3D object. So that's a good way of doing it. So for now we'll just do one train, and on the heart line I'm going to go for Infinity Coaster. Color, well, you know, it's standard, isn't it? So let's just go black. You can type the colors in as well if you've got a specific color that you need. I'm just going to go all black. We'll have the sorry if you can hear my computer setting on fire. It's I need some new fans for it, and it's really struggling at the moment. We'll whack some standard grey supports in. Everything else is black. Grey handrail. Okay, so obviously as well, if you've got B&M, I think B&M is really the only one that you can do it with. You can change the spline color. I'll just quickly show you that. So I need a hypercoaster. If I can find it. Add it. There it is. So if I chose that now, I can change the spline color scheme, like on Fury and Shambhala, I believe, as well. No, Shambhala's is white, all white, and then blue on the rails. So yeah, so that just gives you an idea. You can stripe everything. Yeah, it's good. Really easy to use, really fun. And when we get going now, in a minute, you can have the track type as well. So you can have it worn, rusted, or brand new. Brand new shiny, we'll have shiny. You can have it striped as well, so you can have striped down the rail. I'm just gonna have standard for now. So we've got all the colours there, everything's set. We've got the name. This is YouTube Roller Coaster. So what we do is we add vertex. This is how I do it. A lot of people do it differently, so you know, each to their own, but give it a go. If you've never used this before, this is a good way of doing it. And what I tend to do is I insert the vertexes on the lines, and then I make them strict. So what this does, it means you can't pull and you can't roll that track. So like if I move that, everything moves together now. And that's what the strict means, basically. So your type separator is what separates the different. There are shortcuts to these options to choose. There's shortcuts, but I actually don't use them. Quite old school, to be honest. There's probably a lot of people like Code and people like that who use them all the time because they're whizzing through this like 100 mile an hour. But I like to take my time and actually enjoy the process and be a bit meticulous with the details. So type separator. So I'll show you the different types. So obviously we've only got an Infinity Coaster, so it's not going to be a long station really. So what you do then is you click on the area in between and double click it. No, you don't. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm trying to do something different. Section type, that's what you do, and then you select station. As you can see, the it's going well. The train has appeared, and if you go into track mode, you can go down that piece of track that you've just made, and it's as simple as that. That is how you get started. So what obviously we're 100 foot in the air, so this is your base point. So 1, 2, 3. So this is your terrain, basically, this third box. Because I don't want water in my game, so I like to raise it up slightly. You can have 4 viewpoints as well, so you can have it like that. You can turn the grid off, you can snap the grid off. So you'll have one view there, one view there, but I like to use one. I use perspective a lot, and you know, I've got a lot of in the past people have been whinging about that. So anyway, that's the station. So obviously this is going to be a brake run. So this is where you can do the brakes, but we won't do that now. For now, we'll just get this coaster moving. Yeah, just 1 second, please, while I do something. Okay, hopefully Wolf Raging's going to come in, and obviously we worked on Hyperforce with him, and that was such a fun project doing Hyperforce, and I'm trying to get him on for a podcast as well, just to talk about everything that happened. Obviously I'm the only person doing this, guys, so I'll have to do a lot of the modding as well, so I am sorry if there's any breaks in the stream. But yeah, so basically we've got the station, so we've selected the track type. Now from the side angle, Eurofighters tend to, not Eurofighters, Infinity Coasters tend to drop. So what I like to do is if you press L, that adds, that's the shortcut for vertex. There's only a few that I know. So what we need to do is we need to bend. So I see how it's bent there. So this is cool. So we made this strict. Now we've got them over 2 points there now. So you see how I pull it, and yeah, see it goes crazy when you get too far. You can do it normally. You can do it adding the weight. So you can add weight to the track, which bends it one way and bends it the other way. But at the moment, that station is not starting early enough. So let's just level this off. So as you can see, just imagine when you're doing it, just imagine what a ride looks like. We'll put a little airtime hill in there. Just selected that there. Yeah, so I mean, just imagine what your ride's going to look like. I tend to go with the flow. And so this is, I'm going on with myself, but this is a very, very important tool. This is the pump tool. So what this does basically is auto depump. So if I just ride this, well, not ride it, but get on the track, see how that is like really aggressive. And as you can see, that obviously I've not gone high enough up with my coaster, so that's really aggressive, that drop. So what this depump tool will do, and it might move the station this time, might do, but you just select the nodes, depump it. Now see that, but the problem is that it's now got rid of the airtime hill, which was actually quite a nice little airtime hill. So you just press Control Z and you just smooth off the areas that you want to smooth off. And if it goes out of line, go for the top view. This is what I do. It's not out of line, but just select all of the track or any of the track pieces you want to be straight, and just press the top there. So now we've got little airtime hill. So you wanted to make this a tunnel without using 3D objects, importing on 3D objects into the game. Just add a type separate. No, I use type separator, not style. Each to their own, like I said. But you can make this a tunnel. So you basically just double click. That's all you do, and choose your tunnel. You can also, so obviously Eurofighters like to change the spine a lot. So you got 2 tubes cross ties, and you've got the 3 tube, which is your normal. And then you use your stress spacings, but you can do that. I always do this when I tend to finish a ride, so it just gives it that more realistic look. So we'll go to a 3 tube as it lands in the tunnel, and I'll just do a quick render. So to render it, you just freeze the coaster, and that is how it renders, and then the software does its thing. Basically as basic as you can get with that. It's taking a bit longer than it usually does. I don't know why. Yeah, it's my computer's being a bit stupid today, so I am sorry about that. Boy, it's really struggling. Shouldn't be. Okay, here we go. So you see there, it's rendered. Oh, it's not rendered the tunnel. Huh. That's because I didn't put tunnel in. So we'll go for a regular. Sorry about that. I didn't put the tunnel in after all that. And there we go. There's a tunnel. Simple as that. There's your tunnel. So your station as well. You can there's options with the station. So if any time you want to get back to the editing mode, all you do is you unfreeze and freeze it. So you've got the option of full building roof or just with gates. I'm not sure what special platform is. I'm going to check that out because there's been a few updates since I actually played this game. Used this software. Sorry, not played this game. Although it is available on Steam. Mind you, software is available on Steam. Okay, yeah. So basically, it's just got the wheels in. So if you wanted to put your own 3D object on there, I like that. I like that train. That train is nice. I don't think I picked a good color at first, but that's a nice color scheme. So we will put a building on it just for the sake of it, and then I can just see that that is just peeking over a bit, so you can pull these back. So we're going to have no roof. I'm going to change the structure color. Make the gates that blue. I'm going to make the railing that grey. Might just reduce that slightly just so it's not as harsh on the eyes. And now we should have a slightly looking different station. Yep. There we go. And you can change the entrances. Obviously, it's just because I've built up so high, so I don't have to muck around with the water. So I show you now. I can go pretty deep without getting to water now. So I could quite easily just. I don't know why it's letting me do it, but it's letting me build over the tunnel, which it shouldn't do, but it is doing. But yeah, so that's how you do tunnels. It's that simple. Just see what I did there. Just gonna undo everything. What I've just done. Hopefully it'll go far enough. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's unfreeze it and press spacebar to get to that stage. Just gonna reply to a message. So like I said, so I'm probably going to level that off a bit now. Now what's happened is, because I'm building in a 3D, you see how it's bent. So you start from the one you want it to match up with from the top. This is what I was saying earlier. Make straight, and now it's straight. So I tend to do everything from the top from now, apart from the lift. So we'll have a little bit of a stagger and a bend. Now you see the pump tool comes in real handy. So just another one. You can make these as short or as long as you want. So I want that to match up with that. So that's straight. So top. Yep, that's pretty straight. So let's just ride the track and see what it looks like. So out the station, pulling the uphill. And obviously, so we're going to talk about rolling the track now. I like to do this in perspective mode whilst I'm on the track as well normally. So your hill, you want that to be pretty much strict really, but you want it to start bending when you want it to bend. So the strict mode basically just stops things from moving. I can't bend that piece of track now. If I put a roll point on, it would just go absolutely silly. So if I had a roll point, and then if I bent that, see, I can't move that. So we'll just go back to 0, and you can drag these along. So I'm just going to drag this to the corner here. So the strict will stop there, so it will start to increase. So I'm going to actual G, and obviously you can do that to as much as you want. If you wanted to do that, you can do that. If you wanted to do that, you can do that. If you wanted to, you know, not natural G, just for the sake of this. So obviously I want it to level off there, so I'll add the roll point there, and when I make this strict, you will see no matter where I drag that, that is at 0 roll point, no matter where I drag it. Sometimes it can be a bit funny, but I think it's a bug that's been ironed out now, I'm not sure. So now if we ride this, not ride it, but just check it out, happy with the bend. Bunny up. I'm just going to smooth that out slightly. Just see a little bit of it. Just these. These are just slightly off. Just extends that bunny uphill a bit. It's too much. Just undo that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So now we should have, so if I'm going to put brakes here actually. So again, just type separator where it starts to be strict. I'm just going to show you a little tip as well. So this is brakes. And then just so the car makes it around the track, you don't have to do anything with the controls on the actual control box. So if you just put 2 sets of brakes in, the train will automatically get all the way to that last brake. Obviously it's going to crash, but it doesn't crash because it doesn't, you know, it's not that kind of game. So without further ado, let's freeze it. And we're up to the brakes. There's your little tunnel, 3 tube, 2 tube, and there's your brakes. I'm sure I selected new, or is it just a Gerstlauer? Is that Gerstlauer new paint? Oh dear, I really like that train. It's cool. Electric blue, it's awesome. Right, so to go to the actual simulation file, leave editor, it'll save. Every time it freezes, it saves. Play. Now I'll just show you, so I've just paused the game. So you've got a few buttons you can use. I use the button E. And you've got a load of settings, so you can use E, you can fly around, you can turn collisions on as well. So this is how you get your really cool screenshots. So say if the train was coming through there and you wanted to get a snap of that, there's F7, turn your field of view angle in, turn your depth of field up, you can really get close to your trains, and as you can see there, one's in focus, one's out of focus, and that's how you get your cool shots, like, you know, your cool shots like that. It's good. At any point you can press F4 and reset the simulation. That will reset the simulation to the actual start of the simulation. I'm going to unpause it now, and I'm going to also take intensity off, and now you can hear my 1060 GeForce 1060 kicking in. So here we go. So this is the maiden voyage of the YouTube stream. How to no limits coaster. And then into the brakes, and as you can see, it carried on, it didn't stop. And there you go. So that's how you watch it off ride. So if I press, so if I go to fly view, reset, go to fly view now. So with fly view, there's your target view. You can zoom in and zoom out automatically by pressing Q. Simple as that. As simple as that, guys. It's not that hard. The ride view, just get rid of that. Really easy to do, really fun, and obviously, you know, let's add some supports. Let's go for that. So escape, back to editor. have to unfreeze it. Oh, by the way, yeah, if you come back from the edit at any point and you leave the coaster on the track, it will stay on the track until you unfreeze the ride. It's a good way of getting screenshots as well for your editor. So, supports. You can choose prefabs or you can make your own. It's completely up to you, but just for the sake of this, we'll use prefabs. Or track default, we'll put the track's default node down. Basically, it's just like if any of you guys played RCT3, where you just basically put the supports down. Ooh, what have I done? Yeah, and where the thing went. I'm just putting the doubles down. And what these prefabs will do, if you move the track, the supports they'll move with it. It's not, you know, don't get worried about that unless you unfreeze them. Not unfreeze them. If you atomize them, that's it. So if you atomize that prefab, the support won't stay the same. It'll follow the connector will follow the track, but it won't. The rest of the support won't. So yeah, it's just a quick little tip there. Okay, so there's your supports. So now I'll just do some more up here actually. It's up to you where you put the supports. I'm just literally freestyling it here. Okay, so let's freeze it and let's see what this looks like with supports now. Obviously it's nothing special, but just to give you guys an idea who've never played this game before. Where's the supports? With a default connector for that track type, so this should be a different connector. Yeah, it's actually I've put one on the in the tunnel. I shouldn't have. So that, yeah, that will happen. Just be wary that will happen. But yeah, there you go. There's supports. So now the track is supported, and basics, man, basics. You've got to learn the basics before you start going crazy. Leave editor. I'm just gonna run back a few cars. Did that by pressing C, by the way, once you're in ride mode. Press view as well, change view, change cars in your view, all that stuff. Also as well, when you've got it in, let's get rid of that. When you've got it in fly mode, in fly view, then when you're in target view, if you press C, it will go. So if you've got a long train and you press C, it will go further back, so you'll get more of the train in the shot. So I think, guys, for this first live stream, we've done quite a bit. So back to the editor and recap. So we've learned how to put a station in. Obviously, we've learned how to raise the land so you don't have water everywhere when you lower the terrain. We've learned how to put the brakes in. We've learned how to put the roll points in. How to make the track strict so nothing can move. So you get a nice little straight ends to the track like the station. Learned how to do a little hill. Like I said, a little bend there. So thanks for watching. Make sure you follow our Facebook page at Coastergen. Also follow us on, well, basically all social media at Coastergen. I've been Luke Holsworth. Thanks for watching, and I will see you down here next time. Cheers, guys.